Hello everyone, this is Tim, and today I'm going to talk about consumer culture, do-it-yourself attitude, and how this sort of relates to us as role players. So we'll start off with the consumer culture. And I've been sort of analyzing myself lately. I guess I kind of do that in these videos. But I have been on this spending freeze when it comes to role-playing games lately. That's mostly because I ticked off my significant other uh, by spending too much and doing some kind of shady things to keep, my spending under the table, out of the spotlight. Doing some not so good things to get this spending in, to buy these books, to add yet another book to my bookshelf. And, I had some consequences because of that. I got in some hot water, as it were. But what it kind of made me start thinking about is, why do I have this like inborn desire to buy books and buy games, even though at the same time I don't have a lot of time to read, I don't have a lot of time to play? What is that? Why do I have that desire? Why do I have that need to get more books, even though I probably have enough role playing games to last me the rest of my life? Do I really need another set of rules? Do I really need another setting? You know, is that consumer culture that sort of, have I been brainwashed, to feel like I need to spend, that I need to have one more book, that I have to have the newest and freshest things, And I don't think I'm necessarily that. There's new games that come out that I don't get into, that I don't purchase, but I think most of my purchases are setting related. I want to have a new setting. I like to read them and get different ideas, but it's made me kind of question what I'm doing. Why do I feel like I need to lie and hide all this spending that I'm doing? You know, it, it's tough. Relationships are tough, especially when you're a gamer and you're married to a non-gamer, or if you're just in a relationship with, you're not married, but I don't know. They sort of make you question yourself, like, why are you spending this much money? Why are you devoting so much time to these things? And it's just really tough. It has me sort of questioning the way I've gone about things. If I'm lying to my wife about my spending, and lying why, where I spent that money, it makes me kind of put into question what I'm doing. So I don't know. Lately, I've been on this spending freeze, not really buying the new things that come out, the little links that I see from all my friends posting in various groups, Facebook and forums and all that kind of stuff, Google Plus. I've really just been not buying them, not picking up that cheap little PDF, or not intentionally not going to use bookstores, not not setting myself up for failure, not letting that book temptation suck me in. And I'm sure I'm going to start purchasing role playing games eventually again. It's just it just has me questioning, why I have that need. And then on top of that, it makes me think more towards like the OSR crowd, the OSR blogs that have more of this attitude about do it yourself. That you really don't need to purchase another setting. You can make another setting. Have your own creativity lead the way. Do it yourself. If you want some more additional things for your RPG, make them yourself. You don't have to purchase these things. You can do, research at the library for various real world things, or old stories, or something, and include those into a setting. You don't need to be spoon fed by the industry. You don't need to be spoon fed the creativeness of other people. You can do that stuff yourself. Even if you don't think you're a very creative person, you can, with time, get better at it. The more creative stuff you do, I've found, the easier it is. The more you surround yourself with creative people, the easier it tends to be. You learn things from them. You see how they do things differently than, people that sort of go through their day being a cog in a machine and not really trying to do anything unique or special or interesting. Just going through the motions. That's I don't think there's very many people in our hobby that are like that to a certain extent, but I guess some are better at being creative than others. But I think it's something we can all get better at. Some of us have, we start off with a better foundation, a better creative framework, perhaps. But we all, I think, can get better and improve. So, what I've been trying to tell myself is that when I'm looking at that new setting or that new rule set, I don't need to buy it. I could do that stuff myself. I could spend the time, and instead of laying down, $50 for a new game, I can just do something different. I could come up with stuff on my own. So, do-it-yourself mentality, sort of like, holding up a middle finger to the RPG industry in some ways and saying, fuck you guys. I'm not spending any more money on things. I'm just going to use this rule set that I have, or these various rule sets that I've already purchased, and that's what I'm going to spend my time on. I'm not going to give you guys any more money. Because really, how many RPGs does one person really need? I don't know. I have a lot of different role playing games. I have a lot of different settings, and I do have a lot of fun running different games and different settings at conventions, especially. And I like having that option, I guess, to be able to play in various games. If someone says, "Hey, you want to come play in a Savage Worlds game?" Well, you know what? I have that Savage Worlds book over there that I haven't used in a long time. Sure. So I think that's part of the reason why I feel the need to keep purchasing things, that I want to have the option to play with that system. But at some point, I think you just have to sort of draw the line. Like if it's causing problems with your personal life, if it's causing problems with your finances, you really need to evaluate things and maybe do some more stuff on your own. Do some creative work that comes out of your own mind instead of other people's. So yeah, I guess that's a little ramble on basically just that creative urge that I think can get better and stronger over time, the do-it-yourself kind of mentality versus the consumer culture where you need to buy the latest, hottest new thing. It's almost in some ways like a disease where if you catch that bug, you feel like you need to buy it. You're incomplete without dropping your money down on the counter, and it kind of disturbs myself a little bit that I feel that way a lot. That there's a little bit of the collector in me, I think, where, like for instance, the midnight setting. I don't have all the books for that setting, and there's a part of me that it's just that bugs the hell out of me that I don't have all the books. I don't have all the splat books and things like that for that setting. I want to collect them all. It's sort of the like CCG sort of mentality, and I got to work on that, I think. So that's pretty much it. I hope there's not too much background noise in the back there, but yeah, let me know what you guys think.